Trying to let y'all in. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, all right. Once again, back again. It's the hood, hierarchy, mobcast, and it's me, Uncle Beats, and the streets like white lines on the corner like a stop sign. And I really got it going on today. I got a very special guest in here. He's from a group called the Lifers Group. They they're the only group that I know that they made a music video inside the penitentiary, an album, and it was all inmates that did it. It was big. So we're gonna get into it. I wanna see what y'all think about some things because a lot of people really think they know about the streets, know about the penitentiary, know about the hood, all that good stuff, and they have no clue what's really going on. So, with that being said, I'm gonna play the intro and I'm gonna come back right back. Hood, hierarchy, mob every single episode, man, we gonna give them a little background.
I know how I feel because I've been through that 1,000 times. Lovely ghetto you, beautiful
ghetto you, sweet ghetto. We made so much doing that. I started taking that money throwing the concerts.
It's your boy Project Pata, hood hierarchy, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, look, man, if it ain't in the hood, man, it ain't on here.
You gotta love it. Yo, 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 yo. Back down. Good to see you. Good to see all you good people in here. Who I didn't mean to do that. my bad. Um Already checking in, my boy Corey Conut Right. Yep, yeah. What up, family? Still waiting for you to come back, Conut. Still waiting for you to come back. So today, I know y'all looking in the title and y'all seeing Lifers Group. You might not know what that is, but you really should know. And you really do know, but you're going to see that you know. I got a special guest today, and he is the one and only Maxwell in the building.
Yo, what's up, Uncle Beats? How you doing, bro? How you doing, Uncle Beats?
What's up, triple, quadruple, super OG, stopping by the hood, man, to give us a visit, man.
Absolutely.
And I've been rocking with you for some time, but
Absolutely.
You a little different, so I can't just do like the normal thing.
Yeah.
I want them to see how important you are, because it's like I have people saying, "Oh, you doing older people? Oh, don't nobody want to listen."
Yeah.
But you was one of them young dudes on the street.
Yeah.
And
I'm still young.
I hope you ain't on the street still, though.
Nah. Oh yeah. I'm out there. I have to be out there to interact and interact with them and point them in the right direction.
So you still in tune. Well, you is. I don't like to say activist, but you is a community. You is a man of the community now.
Yeah, for social change, social justice.
Social change. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How much time did you do, and what was it for?
I did a total of 33 years.
33 years.
Yeah, absolutely, 33 years.
And what was the charge?
It was a homicide. I had it was my best friend. I had mistakenly killed my best friend because of a confrontation that me and another gentleman had been in, and me firing a gun or recklessly, not being an expert or nothing, and a straight bullet hit my best friend and killed my best friend.
So you're on the street and y'all having a deal go a dispute,
Yeah.
and you just get the busing and you hit your homie.
Nah, what happened is the dude had finagled me out of some money. It was over
Right.
some narcotics. I gave him some money to go purchase some drugs. He told me they stuck him up. They robbed him.
Right.
And so when I went around there and I addressed it, the guy told me that he had given it to the guy. And when I walked up, I told him I want my money on my drugs. He said he didn't have neither one of them. So I
Right.
believe I slapped him with the pistol or something, and that I had got out of my friend's car, and he took off running. And me, I just started firing recklessly, and that straight bullet hit my best friend. I hadn't seen in about 3 years. I had just seen him moments before that. We greeted each other. He went in the bar and was on his way out and
Right.
got caught up in the crossfire.
Man.
But at that particular time, I didn't even know anyone had got hit as a result of that.
Right.
And the people started coming to me and talking about, you hit this guy, this innocent guy, had nothing to do with it. And at that point, I still didn't know who I hit. Not that it made it right, whether I hit my best friend or hit the wrong person or the right person. I was kind of scared as a result of hitting someone. I took off. And so I was in New York, and I hear, some people, my family told me they read the papers, and it was my best friend. So man, I came back down, man, and I like turned myself in, you know, and
How old were you?
I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah,
19. Okay, we gonna come back. We gonna come
yeah,
back to the story, right? So I always show mad respect for the streets, love for the streets. So the people that's common, we call that the streets because they the streets. So
yeah,
I stop and show them love, see what they talking about. Lewis Jordan, what up, bro? If that's sleepy, I'm gonna go crazy when I get off here. Uh, Prince Lupo, my guy, he said fire. Bad guy Arnold K Dub said salute. We salute you right back, brother.
right.
So now we're gonna get back right into your story, but I want your perspective on the situation.
All right.
So this is the young people watching, the old people watching, the middle aged people watching.
Yeah.
Is it worth it pulling your gun out, shooting somebody over some money, drugs, or anything? Is it worth it?
Nah, it's not really worth it. Pulling it out, shooting someone over anything. And I think like when most people do, and this happened, you don't wake up that morning and say that I'm going out to do this or not. It's more of a misadventure. You get caught up into something, and you out there and you get caught up into and you being reckless,
Right.
but nothing's worth that. You pulling a gun, I don't care, what a person really does, nothing's worth that. Like, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't not do things because I'm scared or because I don't want to go to prison. I now make my decision based off of because it's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Like thing
Based
to
on
do.
higher levels of moral reasoning now. That's how I make my choices.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So, man, you did 33 years, so your perspective is gonna be real dope on this. Like, honestly, like, what would it take for you to ever go there? Like, if something like, would it have to be defending your life or what?
Yeah, it would have to be defending my life, and if I can avoid that happening, I still wouldn't want that to happen. But
Right.
I think that every human being has the capability of that happening. It depends on what's the situation. For example, I'm going to use a parent or something.
Right.
If you see somebody doing something to your parent or something, you're not going to think logically or anything. You're going to just respond off an instinct or something.
Right.
So it happens in situations like that too. You know?
Well. Let me ask you this. See, normally, man, we had to do a lot of screening and really see if people hood. But when you a super duper quadruple OG, original gentleman,
Yeah.
original genius, uh, it's just a little different. So, like I say, this interview a little different, y'all. So let me ask you. Oh, hold on. Check in with the streets.
But just let it rip, man. Just I be, you know,
I
do what
got
you
you.
do.
I got you. I got you. Oh, my homie Paul DJ East say what's up, bless. What's up, bless up. My homie Prince Lupo say 33 years. That's almost my whole life. God bless you, brother. Salute for being home and staying that way, being humble. Oh, y'all ain't even seen humble from this dude yet. Y'all, it's so much history. He's legendary. He ain't just somebody that been in prison. But I'm gonna ask you this honestly. What's the worst part of knowing you done took somebody's life?
Uh well, the worst part of like I said, this had a double impact on me. I didn't just
Right,
take anyone's life, not to lessen if it would have been someone else's life.
right,
Uh you have to understand it was my best friend's life on top of that. So it had like a triple impact on me. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because he was doing all the right things with his life. You know, he was like up in the community at the community center working, teaching the kids,
Oh
swimming and all
man,
that. So, and you know, it's something that you have to live with. And like people say you have to forgive yourself, right? And I don't know if I've really forgiven myself for that. Still, I live with it every day, right? And
right.
one of the things that I try to do right now is live my life through his eyes. In honor of
Okay,
him is what one of the things that caused me and triggered me to start doing the things that I did in a positive way. That's
right,
as a result of what happened to him,
right.
you know?
I get it. That makes sense. Um, did you ever have to face this family or anything like
Yes,
that?
me and the family are like we're like brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been to dinner. We went to dinner. We've been out. I'm in
right.
communication with the family, and you know, yeah, we're very close. We're extremely close. We're like brothers and sisters till this day.
Right. Well, now, man, you just it's just such an honor to be. I've interviewed a lot of people. As you know, I know all type of famous people and different stuff.
Absolutely.
But when I talk to you, man, when I talk to you,
Yeah.
it's just way different, man. So we still gotta screen you. Hey, we do it. You might well be on the yard. We still gotta screen you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what city and state you from?
I'm from Camden, New Jersey,
Cam.
right next to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know, I can look
Camden.
right out the window and look right over into Philly.
So growing up, what was your hood? Where was you from?
I was originally grew up in North Camden.
Okay.
North Camden, that's like right on the other side of the bridge. You have on one side, North Camden is like hood. Then on the other side of the Ben Franklin Bridge, you got like downtown, you got Rutgers University and all that.
Right.
You got a whole different scenery.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the first time I was arrested, it was arrested because of Rutgers University. I lived on this side of the bridge. Rutgers was on this side.
Oh,
Rutgers had the beautiful green grass, tennis courts, and everything. And I wanted to always be in Rutgers. And
right.
the security guard told me don't come over there no more. So I went back over there one day. He caught me, but I had my dog with me. So I
Right.
sucked my dog on him. They ain't had no guns at the time. So he caught me 2 weeks later and he took me down to juvenile detention for that, you know?
Right.
And that was the start of a lot of things right there.
Well, what year did you catch your case?
I caught my case in 1980.
Oh, so you grew up in the best times I hear in the 70s, huh?
Yeah, I grew up in the 60s.
Oh, in the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Well, what was it like? Was it gangs around when you was coming up, or street tribes?
It was little street things, man, with guys from crosstown, downtown, and different things. Like if a guy was dealing with a girl downtown, the guys from downtown feeling a certain way, they didn't want them to come down there. They might get in a little scrapping and challenging each other over things like that. But you didn't have all, like all the things that's going on now. You didn't have all that going on like that, like the gangs and things that they have now. None.
So let me ask you this: you was locked up for the crack era. So in the
Yes,
'60s and '70s,
yeah.
what was everybody doing?
Back then they was doing like a lot of speed. They was doing like a lot of pills, red devils, quaaludes, volumes, things like that, and smoking weed. That's the things that they were doing back in those days, right there.
So let me ask you something
Yeah,
else. I'm gonna always say that. That's my trademark. Let me
yeah.
ask you. Okay. So how close is Philly to y'all to let people know?
About a mile.
So did you go into Philly to get into stuff a lot, or you just stayed in New Jersey?
No, I was in Jersey. I stayed. I used to be in Philly a lot though. I
Okay.
used to go over to the arcades and they had different places where they had entertainment going on, groups
Mhm.
coming and different things. And so I used to go over there, but yeah, I didn't go into Philly just to get into things.
So you from a good era, right? So I want to know from your time, what was the movie that everybody watched in the hood that say like, "Hey man, that's the one," from your
Oh
era?
man, it was a lot of that black exploitation movies out, like
Right.
Superfly, the
Superfly.
Mac, all that stuff. Those were the type of movies. The Car Wash, all those types of movies. Which
You
way is
know,
up?
I don't know how they did this, right?
Yeah,
But Superfly and the Mac was loosely based on my life story, even though I wasn't born yet.
right,
So
right.
I'm gonna have to have my lawyers get on it, man. They owe me some money, man.
Yeah,
I'm, I'm gonna have to have my lawyers get up. So let me ask you this, right? We had like Minister Society in my time and Boys in the Hood, and it was people that wanted to. They might not admit it,
yeah,
but they wanted to be like O Dog in Minister Society. He was the
yeah,
biggest killer, Tupac
yeah.
and Juice. What was it like with movies like Superfly and the Mac? Like, did y'all look up to them?
Yeah, everybody, was started, the style of clothing, and everybody wanted to be macking and pimping and all that stuff. They wanted to emulate those guys.
Did you
And
have did you have a hair, man? Just tell the truth.
yeah,
You had
absolutely.
I can
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you
I
with
did.
it.
I honestly did. Yeah.
Right.
And
Uh,
everybody was wearing maxi coats and all that type of thing. Like coats all the way down to your ankles, maxi coats and all that. And just walking around, everybody thought they was super flies.
I'm sorry, streets. I'm not disrespecting y'all. I see y'all commenting. You know, call me a groupie or something, man. But it's not every day I get a real triple, quadruple OG in here, man. So I'm just amazed, y'all. I'm gonna get to y'all. I promise you. So
uh,
so back in them '60s was like the Panther movement going.
yeah, they was going on. They was strong. They had a few branches in New Jersey. They had a branch in Camden. They had a branch in Jersey City. In several of the cities, yes, they was going on back then. With the school programs and different things. They had a lot of co-op houses. They had a lot of other groups that were up under the Panthers at the time, and in
Right.
these colleges. And you had a lot of protests that was going on. Back in those days at the colleges. You had a lot of against the war, Jane Fonda and all of them coming to the city protesting and everything. It was a lot of that going on back then.
So did you ever roll with any of them?
Yeah, at Rutgers, as I said, I used to go to Rutgers. I used to meet a lot of people at Rutgers people that
Okay.
used to come and do speaking and different things like that. And I used to spend a lot of time at the co-op house. That was like your black sorority house. They was teaching
Okay.
us our history and different things. So I spent a lot of time at the co-op house, with
Okay. Well, before I get juicy on you, I'm gonna check in with the streets because I see they popping up in my corner.
yeah,
So I don't want nobody to think I'm not checking in with them.
yeah,
Prince Lupo said, "Oh yeah, he said you right in his area. You say you his neighbor."
yeah,
He said Superfly. Yeah, South Central and Colors. We had that. Bad guy Arnold said Willie Dynamite.
yeah, Dolomite.
He said, "Did you have the fish tank shoes?" Superfly didn't wear the fish tanks, man. He
Yeah,
was Superfly, man.
that was
Uh,
Augie. That was yeah.
so he said his oldest brother graduated Rutgers,
Oh, all right.
and Corey Wright got caught and say his cousin is from Maywood.
Maywood.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I don't even know where that's at. It's not Maplewood, right?
oh well, I don't know what he's talking
Yeah.
about. So back to you. Back to you. So how you get in them streets? Like you said, you had a
How did?
drug deal go wrong. Like how did you get to that point where you selling drugs?
No, I've never actually. No, I've never sold drugs in my life. I've used drugs, but I've never sold drugs.
Oh, so you used them and they robbed you when you bought them.
Yeah, he finagled me out of my money. You
I
know,
had it.
I mean, he manipulated me. Like, yo, dude got XYZ, man, and he ain't doing nothing with everybody. He ain't gonna give it to just anybody. You want me to get it? Yeah, here. So we gave him the dough to get it.
So if you was just getting high, what was your drug of choice?
Well, at the time, I started using heroin at an early age, about age 15, 16.
About 15.
15 to 16, yeah.
And you know what people don't know, like even where I'm from in Chicago, back in my day,
Yeah.
some of the biggest G's was on that boy. It's like some of the biggest killers. That's what they
Yeah.
was doing. And
Yeah.
it's like I look at that like directly from like the Superfly era too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like people here now they go, oh, dope thing. Like, no, that was actually a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And
That's so
people
we
don't
thought.
what you say?
I say so we thought.
Right, so, right. So thought. So with with uh with that though, like, so why was you carrying a gun?
Well, I wasn't actually carrying a gun. It was me and my dude, we was out, and he just happened in the car, and we parked the car, as I said, and went back to where the guy went to purchase it, and we got out the car, and as we got out the car and we over there talking, the car jumps out of gear and is backing up, so everybody's like yelling. So I run to the car, right, to put the car in gear, and I see the guy pulls back up, and down on the floor it was one of those things. So I
Oh,
just grabbed it. But I had never before that had never touched a gun in my life or fired a gun or anything in my life.
oh, so that wasn't even you. That wasn't even your style.
Nah, wasn't even my
So
style.
let me ask you this: before you went to prison, what kind of dude was you? Was you a tough guy, or was you just a smooth kicking it? Like,
I wasn't a tough guy. I mean, I didn't really take no mess, but no, I wasn't really a tough guy. I was mellow. I was a mellow guy. I was more so mellow. You know,
okay,
I was a little reckless, badass kid. But
right.
I wasn't a tough ass kid. And I used to have guys that used to challenge me, but I had other friend guys, associates that I used to be around. used to like, what are you doing? They would just, step in, for me and stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's where it's finna get Here's where it's finna get juicy. How much time did they give you for the murder?
They gave me 25 to life.
25 to life.
Yeah, they gave me 25 to life, but I end up, after you have to do the 25 first before you even eligible for parole.
Right.
So when it was time for me to go up for parole, they don't usually give us a parole date lifers when we first go up.
Right.
So when I went up, I was in there. I was working like different programs, addictions awareness program. I was running all types of programs. So I told them to postpone mine. I wanted to take some additional programming and everything.
Right.
But what I was doing was gathering all my information together.
Okay.
Then when I was ready to go up, I dropped them a note and said, look, I'm ready to go up. So they brought me up. You first go to a 2-man panel. I went in front of them and they denied and they sent me to the 3-man panel. I went to the 3-man panel. When you go to the 3-man panel say, I'm going to send you outside of the guidelines. So the 3-man panel gave me a 10-year hit, meaning come back and see us in 5. You know?
Now,
So
so how many years before you got paroled? You got paroled on the first one?
no, after I went to court and the court reversed it and made them make a reversal of the hit they had
I
gave me.
saw that. I saw you want an appeal. I saw you
Yeah.
appealed it.
Yeah, New Jersey Superior Court. I went to court and I challenged it, and I basically put a nice little package together. The only thing I had to get the lawyer to go in and argue it for me. That's what helped it a lot more. But I pretty
Right.
much together they tried to apply some standards to me that didn't apply to me because those weren't the standards at my time right there. You know?
Okay. Now you kind of jumped ahead of me because I was gonna ask you something.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, can't get it no realer than this. 19-year-old Melvin is walking into the penitentiary,
Yeah.
25 to life. A 19-year-old right now. What would you tell him to be doing as far as helping him get out of there?
Spending time in the library, spending time by itself, spending time with some type of group or community in there, and some of the old heads in there is that's going to guide him in the right direction.
Right.
That's what I would tell him to be doing. And try to to begin a change and self inventory and evaluate himself.
You
To
said something else too. You said you postponed yours because you wanted to take some classes.
I postponed it because I wanted some additional classes I wanted to finish and everything, and I knew when I was doing that, when I go to court and the court look at that,
Right.
not only did this man, as you said in the case, did this man do this? This man created programs, this and that, and y'all want to give him a hit. No, y'all got to reverse that. I knew that would help my case as well.
So definitely, if you catch a case and you doing some time, you need to
Yeah,
go right in there, taking all the classes available
yeah. You take
because
everything
it'll help you
available.
later.
Yeah, but you got to be genuine with it because they're going to interrogate you when you go in front of that board. And one of the reasons that she gave me the 10-year hit, she wasn't satisfied with my answer. Why did I do what I did? And I told
Right.
her that's who I was at the time. That was the way I was thinking. She wasn't satisfied with that. So the court said, look, he answered you. He gave you his genuine answer of why he did what he did. They want to know the underlying causes, what caused you to behave in the way you behave.
Right.
And I broke it down to her, but the one person wasn't satisfied with it. But the
Okay.
courts thought I expressed myself well and told her the truth, So, yeah, but
How did it affect your family when you got locked up?
well, it had a major impact on my family. My father and my mother and my sisters, my brothers, and But I have to thank my family. They like really stuck with me through 33 years, and my sisters and them, they
Who's
ran back
the
and forth to that prison for 33 years. My mother and
many
father.
many siblings as you had? All they had to do was send you a dollar a month a piece, and you was all right.
Yeah,
How many siblings? How many of y'all? Because I know
well, it
you the
was,
baby, right?
yeah, it was 14 of us,
Okay. Wow.
but I was all right as far as family and all, and having that outside contact, because that's important. And that's one of the main things that I used to look forward to more than anything. I want to get out to be with my family. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's one of the main things. It wasn't just about me, it was for them too. I wanted to get out, you know?
So when people was making these sudden moves in life that could take their freedom away, they need to consider their family
Most
also, right?
definitely. They need to consider their family, because the decisions that we make, there's other people in our lives that it's going to impact. But it doesn't just have to be that reason. When they make these decisions, they should make those decisions based on, because it's not the right thing to do, and it's not worth it when you really look at it. And like the ones that's out hustling, a little bit of money you make, you're going to spend that in a lawyer, or you're going to spend it with your people or your girl,
Right.
dragging back and forth to the place to visit you and all that. So none of it's worth it, man. Being in there, nothing's worth being in there.
So
You know,
so what you in there, you doing your time. I'm finna get to the good stuff, y'all. Where y'all don't understand where he started moving mountains in prison. That's what it is to me, right?
but
You start doing your time. What made you decide that you're gonna put a rap song together with all the
you
prisoners?
know, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Like I told you, I was just doing different things. I was working with the program and everything, and things was a little dull. And I saw that rap music had a major impact. From watching the videos, it was a video show that we used to watch. It kept us informed of everything. It was Ralph McDaniels from Video
Ralph
Music Box.
McDaniels. That's the video jukebox, right? For
Yeah, Video Music
people on the
Box.
East Coast know what it is.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he kept us informed that everything was going on. So we used to watch these videos every day at 3 o'clock, and you saw the kids with the hairstyles, the clothing style, and everything, and they was listening to these rappers and everything. So that ideal had came up to me. All right, some kids had came to our program, and we wanted to honor them with some plaques and different things. So I was reaching out to different companies, for support donations, and I ran across some people at Red Alert Productions.
Wait, hold
Guy
on.
by
When
the
you say
name of
y'all program, what was the name of your program?
the program was the Juvenile Awareness Program.
And
You
that's
know,
actually what we call scared straight, right?
yeah, but Scared
Okay.
Straight was just a name that Hollywood gave it, that the
Okay.
producers gave it at the time, but it was actually the Juvenile Awareness Program.
Okay. And it's crazy because I didn't have scared straight when I was coming up. I got to see it later.
Yeah.
But y'all was scared straight with what you dropped. But you can get back to it. You say Red Alert Studios.
Red Alert Productions, right? That's DJ
Okay.
Red Alert and David Klein at the time. I was like, yo, um, you know, um, right now with everybody into this music and everything, he's like, Maxwell, look, I'm moving out to California. I'm getting ready to be the head of Hollywood Basic Records. Call me when I get out there, right? So I
Right.
call him. I start running ideas to him. We started communicating back and forth. I went to some of the young brothers in the prison. I said, look, if you was to give a message to one of these kids or define what prison life was or to keep them out of here, could you do that for me? Would you be able to do that? They say yes. So he sent me some beats on the tape. So we was going back and forth. They would record on it. I sent them back. They would record on it. I sent
Wait a
it back.
minute. So they could send you beats in prison?
Yeah, he sent them to me. Well, my organization, the Lifers League,
Oh, okay. The
I had
organization.
we had an office upstairs actually,
Right.
and we were sending them back and forth, and they would record. And then when I was telling a lot of people, that this is what I'm doing, they was laughing. They was funny. That you gonna make a record in there that was funny. They thought it was a joke, right? But when the letterhead came in from Walt Disney Company with on a Mickey Mouse heading on it and say we want to come in, we want to talk to Maxwell Melvin about XYZ, it was a
Right.
whole different ball game.
So how did you how did you make that happen though? You went to the warden. Like, how did you make it
Yeah,
happen?
we talked to the warden. We had a lieutenant that used to work with us by the name of Lieutenant August. So he was like our liaison, along with him, along with the commissioner's office, along with the Office of Public Information, along with the governor's office, and all of them. They saw that the Walt Disney Company was involved.
Right.
So the same thing. The Walt Disney Company and us had the same thing in common. Their purpose was to entertain kids. Our purpose was to save the lives of kids.
Right.
So we had that in common. That was our commonality between us. So,
Right.
they came in, they brought a crew in. They flew some people in from Denmark. They brought in the studios, and we went to work.
So they brought they let them bring a recording studio into the prison.
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing. So how did you pick the rappers?
Well, it was a little click of them. It was by who could deliver the message and the point that we wanted to get across. It was some of the, I would say, the best. They were good. I can't say they were the best of the best because I didn't talk to everybody, but they served their purpose and they was good at what they did. And that's how they were picked and chosen based off their lyrics and and their flow and stuff.
Okay, so if y'all are special needs and y'all don't understand what this man did, he's in prison and he put together a record like Self Destruction with a bunch of rappers, just real inmates, lifers. That's why it's called the Lifers Group. And they did, yeah, it was a whole album, right?
We put out 2 albums. We put out
Two,
an EP first, Lifers Group, self-titled Lifers Group. Then we put out the second one
I,
was
I
Lifers Group,
remember I remember
Living
buying
Proof.
okay. Two albums.
Yeah.
And they made a real video in prison. Before you answer that, before we get on the video, let me check in with the streets one time.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, okay. He was saying his cousin is Lorenz Tate from Maywood. Right, I know that. Host of Memphis, Killer Mike said, glad to see you making it happen.
All
Salute
right.
to you too, Killer Mike. Monty
Absolutely.
G,
Killer
Fam
Mike.
on a Mission podcast. I gotta hear you go get on his podcast too, because he got something good going.
All right.
But so how do you get to the point where you can actually shoot a music video in prison on the prison yard?
If you ask me, I don't even know. It was
Right.
just something that it was determined, and at all costs, once we started, at all costs, I was willing to put my life on the line for that, in which I did put my life on the line, because at times I was threatened with people that wanted to be a part of what we were doing and
Right.
couldn't. So I said at all costs, I'm gonna see this through. I'm gonna see this happen. And I was the one who chose who's going to be a part of what. That solely was what I was doing. Chose who was going to be in and who wasn't going to be in it or whatever.
Well, let me explain a statement that I made earlier when I said I didn't have scared straight. I had jaw. So I'm not gonna lie. When I was growing up, 13, 14,
Man,
I desired to go to prison.
yeah,
I just looked like, hey, I'm gonna go to prison, come back. Everybody gonna that was just part of. I feel like that was part of the lifestyle me and my friends and family was living. But when I saw the Lifers Group, y'all scared me straight. When I saw y'all in prison,
yeah,
and I'm like, man, like you say, it was the young dudes with the hairstyles like I had.
yeah,
They had on the street clothes,
yeah,
and they was spending their knowledge.
Yeah.
And like out of everybody to this day, it was like one verse, one little part that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
And it was the dude to come on and say, I used to have a name. Now I got a number. Used to put 6 feet under.
Yeah. I remember
Man,
that.
it's like when you spit yours, man,
Yeah.
it's like you was talking directly to me, right?
Yeah.
And even like after your verse, it's a little break and stuff, and like that's
Yeah.
why we're in prison.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm not finna be the rapper in jail. That's what I said to myself
Yeah.
right there. And it's like that just made me change. And it's like people need to go back and check it out. It's like the stuff y'all was saying, like when you say, just like you, I
Yeah.
had all the answers, I've been there. It's like y'all didn't just make a record. It's like y'all really took y'all time
Yeah.
to like touch people. Definitely touch me. So you touched so many people that y'all was nominated for a Grammy. You're Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
And you only lost to Madonna,
Yeah.
which you should lose to Madonna because Madonna
Yeah.
is super popular. Y'all
Yeah.
the fresh new thing on the block. So
But
it's like, but to even be next to
yeah.
compete with Madonna your first time swing around,
Yeah.
that's just amazing. So it's like, what was that like to be in jail, getting invited to the Grammys?
Well, we for number one, we didn't even anticipate it going as far as it went, you know. And but it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling, but I didn't think that it was so great because at the time I didn't think it was so great because uh it was something in my heart. It was just something I was doing and I was enjoying doing it, and I seen that it was getting out there and everything, and it afforded us to reach a larger audience even in other countries and different things, because I've had people from around the world that come to see me and interview me from every country. They came to Rawley Prison and did interviews, and they emulated and with other programs like Norway and different countries emulated and
Right.
set up programs like that. And so I felt good, when I, in retrospect, when I look back, and like when I was doing speaking engagements, some of the people that was with me, they was like, I'm gonna tell y'all something too. He nominated for a Grammy. He won't say it, but if I was nominated, I'll wear that shit and I'll be up here telling y'all about it. I don't what's the name about it, but yeah, it was great though. It's good. Like I say, what we intended to do with it, it set out, it did what I intended to do.
You know, I don't know. I don't want to overwork you, and I don't want to jump too far from it. But I really wish like you could do that with today's generation, like somewhere. Like
Yeah.
there's so many rappers in jail right now.
Wow. Yeah, it
That
is.
that like if you could just figure out how to do it again some kind of way, man. Cause
Yeah,
it's
but
like it worked. I'm telling you, it worked
yeah,
for me. Definitely.
even if I couldn't do it, and hopefully, like some of the people that we've reached, it could have sparked them to make that change.
Right.
Hopefully it has sparked people, and it has, because there's been like several different videos, like Speech from Arrested Development did something very
Right.
similar, and a couple of people, and so like I said, even if we don't change that, might be the people to spark that person that can make that change. And anything that I can do, and I still continue to work and gear toward that way. But I work with Die Jim Crow, which we
Right.
do that, and we fight, issues that affect people of injustice and different causes like that. So I'm still involved
Hey,
in that.
tell them who Jim Crow is, in case they don't know.
Well, Die Jim Crow Records is a first nonprofit record company of its kind.
Right.
We record currently and formerly incarcerated people, and we stand for issues of social justice and certain causes. And I don't know if a lot of people, well, they are familiar with who died Jim Crow and the died Jim Crow era or
Right.
whatever. So it stood for that, like die Jim Crow, to get rid of
Right.
that. you
Exactly.
know yeah. But die Jim Crow, like, I have new music out right now, and it's talking about what Die Jim Crow is about. You
Right.
know, like one of the songs on there is called Drapetomania. Drapetomania is a word that this psychologist or this philosopher used as for black people that wanted to escape from slavery. He put that on them like drapetomania, named that some type of disorder because they
Right.
wanted to break free. You know,
That, that,
so
let,
that's
let
what.
me let me ask you this. Oh, salute to the homie show body, Lifers Group. Now you know you gotta have them on OGs and Young Guys. So I'm just I'm just putting you out there, man. If somebody come out with a with a podcast, I gotta tell you. So everybody, make sure they hitting the likes. Make sure y'all sharing this because this is real important, man. This guy took a life, but he didn't save life. Like I'm telling you, like I'm not just saying it because you're on here, but that's why I always feel special about you
Yeah,
because you definitely steered me, and you was a big part of steering me in a direction. I was
yeah,
one of them kids that you was talking to. I'm telling you,
yeah.
because
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
when Sarah introduced me to you, I'm like, shout out to her. When she
Yeah.
introduced me, she's like, "Do you know?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know who that is." Are you nuts? It's like, I'm like, what? So it's like,
Yeah.
with with the songs I was making, were they all targeted at the kids? Were they all positive songs? Like, what was
Yeah.
that?
All of them were. It was just like one on there that was just where you let them freestyle to get some of their skills off.
Right.
Where it was just a freestyle. One of them was just a freestyle. You know, but it
Okay.
was still telling the story, but it was a freestyle and it was a fun freestyle in telling the story, you know,
Through
where they
through
was just
through, through the
rocking a
hip
beat.
hop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why you
So,
should be celebrated for 50 years of hip hop. All you turkeys, clap right now. Hit
you
the
know,
like, hit the share, cause he used hip hop for something good, and it's like the way y'all just walked around the prison shooting the video. Y'all
yeah,
go look up Lifers Group. Belly of the Beast is the video I'm talking about. They
yeah.
walking around the real prison yard. The prison yard is so dope. This man is so dope. So you was in that prison when they filmed Malcolm X.
Yeah, I was there when they filmed Mac Max.
What was that like?
Well, pretty much, they had it was a lot of people sitting in the auditorium. We had a lot of extras sitting around in there, and they would, Denzel and them came in there and they was just filming and stuff. And, they had their little trailers there. They had their little catering things there, just like any other Hollywood set. They had that
Okay.
set up in the yard. The catering, all the food and everything for workers and everything. And I had a chance. I met Spike and them, and when he came in, I was kind of like flattered that he knew who I was as soon as he came in. I know you.
Oh
So I
wow.
was I was a little flattered by that, at the time and stuff. Like what, to myself,
Yeah, I seen a picture with you and Spike. That was that
Yeah,
was real,
yeah,
that was real nice, man. So
yeah,
I just again, y'all have to excuse me, okay? Let's say Triple. He was part of saving my life, so I gotta. I'm gonna always look at him different. So now you eating that clock up. You went in a young dude. Now you're getting older.
yes,
How many times do you see young dudes coming in like when I did my six, right? Because I did six. It was a hard 6 months too, man. It was
yeah,
it was the hardest hard six
good,
months. What
good,
six
good,
hard, right?
yeah,
Chest up, right? So I had these little dudes. They had like a conspiracy case. So now when they go to court, they they all ooh, then they come back, they crying, they getting hit with that time, facing that
yeah,
time. So I'm like, why y'all ain't out there talking about this when we on the bus? Like
yeah,
y'all acting like it's all good. So like, how many times have young dudes came? Did you see come in rah rah rah, but it's wah wah wah
Yeah.
when they talking to somebody like you?
Well, I mean, you see it all the time. A lot of them come in there. One of their most concerns when they come in there is about their girl, their woman. They left their woman out there. They worrying
Right,
about somebody getting in their lady's pants. That's one of their biggest concerns. If she's
right.
gonna come and see me this week, they're not thinking about how much time they got in the beginning until it really dawns on them. They thinking about somebody getting in the girl's pants. Is she coming to visit me this week and things like that? That's what they thinking about.
Make this go viral. What he just said,
You know,
Joe.
that's what they mostly thinking about. And you know, there are a lot of good women. Some women that do stick by guys through the course of that. You know, there's women that actually there for guys and loyal and stuff. You know, I can honestly say that. But like I said, they come in there and they're whining and they cry. You got grown men that cry in there,
Right.
all the time. Yeah, yeah, you know. So I wanted to get out of there sometimes. I shed the tears in there before I wanted to get out of there.
I was just finna ask you,
Yeah.
is anything wrong with that though? If they
No, there's nothing wrong. Something's wrong. It's showing you something's wrong. Look, I'm crying because I'm sitting in here. Something's wrong. What's wrong is that I'm in here. What's
right,
wrong is what I chose and what has happened is wrong. So all these things right there. And then when you start losing family members and stuff, it hits you harder and harder. But it affected me in there. But I was starting to concern myself. Was I getting cold because it didn't hurt me immediately when it
right,
happened and I was losing them? It didn't happen immediately.
right,
It was like a relay. It was that like after effect
right.
later. It might not happen at that time. Might have been months later. And then when I came home, it really, really hit me. You know,
I
I was,
get it.
like
Get
torn
it.
apart.
We definitely finna get into coming home because I got
Yeah,
sorry y'all. We want a little extended time with this brother. If he thought he was just finna get off real quick, he's not.
yeah,
So let, let me ask. Oh, check in with the streets. Compton DJ say top of it to the panel. Now I know I said this several times, but that's somebody's show I gotta get you on because he does the prison report.
yeah,
He out in L.A. He
yeah.
from Compton, of course, Compton DJ. He did he did a stretch too.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love for you to go get on their podcast. Good conversation.
yeah,
But so you losing family, but you getting rehabilitated in that, right?
yeah,
You getting rehabilitated.
yeah.
So what? How old are you when you finally get the news that they gonna let you out? How old are you?
I was like, I was like 50. I was like 50.
Wow, 19 to
Yeah,
50.
I was 50. I was 50 years old.
Whoa. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Being out, did you come out? Were you institutionalized? Like is institutionalized something real?
Well, it's not so much when you institutionalize, it's like you have to break a lot of habits. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like even being around people doing certain things around you, adjusting, you can't, because it has an effect on your family too. You're new coming back into the home and it has an impact on them too. Like somebody else is there with you, he's back, they happy to see you and everything, but it has an impact there too. And you have to adjust and it takes time. It don't happen overnight. When I first came out, I used to be down in North New Jersey doing for the People's Progress Organization rallies outside.
you
Every
said in
time
Newark,
in North, yeah. And
Brimeyville.
every time I used to hear the fire truck or the police cars, I started crying, right? And then I had to like look at that, like, what the hell is going on? And so when I looked and analyzed it, it was because every time I heard that, I associated that with a family, somebody's hurt, somebody's dying, or something like that. And it affected me. So I had
Right.
to adjust to that. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to be in a rally and I used to just walk away from everybody and just start walking away and just like, you know? So I had like a lot of things I had to adjust to.
Now you got out in what you get out in like 2011.
Yeah,
Okay,
2010.
so how different? Because I know y'all getting stuff and little stuff getting smuggled into prison too at the
Yeah.
same time. How different is the world when you go in at 1980 and you come out at 50 years old in 2011?
Everything, man, everything is different and new to me. It's like shock treatment. You got the cell phones, you got so many different things, man, that I just wasn't used. You got all these new buildings, you got all these different roads and stuff built, and you're trying to remember where
Right,
this is at, where that's at, like that. Everything is just so different. People in a different state of mind, even when you went in at that time and come out, it just seemed like there was a different breed of people when you came out. You know, like people were just seemed a little more colder than they
right.
were. They just seemed a little more uncaring. You
I'm,
know,
I'm, I'm gonna ask you this because you was around when times was real though. How different was racism when you got out?
racism. I mean, you see it because it's systematic, and
Right,
it might not be so blatantly up in your face, but it's there, and you know it's there. You
right,
understand? And just being who I am as a black person, I don't think I've ever had anybody, I don't think I've ever experienced any direct that I'm conscious of to
right,
experience what it was. Because whatever I was doing or what I was going to do,
right.
none of that got my way. Now, if it was
Okay,
behind the scenes and it happened like that, it might happen like that. But as far as knowledge we knowing and face with it
right,
head on, I didn't really have that problem. But it started to get a little like the last 3 years or something, 4 years, it started
right.
to get out of hand, man. It was getting out of hand. It was getting out of hand. You know, like it was there, but people just started, all it was like nonsense, a lot of nonsense, man,
Right.
I mean, yeah, it was like all over the net and stuff, the way they was addressing, our sisters and addressing people and walking up, spitting in their face in the stores and all that type of stuff,
Right.
grabbing them. The Korean people shooting them, grabbing them, pulling their hair and stuff for, some petty stuff and stuff. So it wasn't just based on what they did, it was based off of who they was.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So
Let me,
it was different. It was different.
let me check in with these streets one more time. Talisa L. Heard. What's up, cousin? She said, Belly of the Beast. Shaheed Brown.
Yeah.
Nephew said, I like this. Uh, Everybody hit that like, hit that share. Thanks for tuning in. I just I just appreciate you so much, quadruple, triple double, original OG,
Yeah.
original gentleman, because you are what these young dudes in the street will become. So they gotta figure it out. Do they want to be you on the outside, or they want to be you on the inside? And
Yeah.
it's like I said, I have people like, oh, why you want to do old people? Because you're the future.
Yeah.
You are the future. And
Yeah.
it's like I was telling somebody today, they was telling me their son got a gun case, and like she just acting like he got the biggest 50 murders or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's telling me the fact. I'm like, man, he sound guilty. I was like,
Yeah.
so he got to accept what come with that. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you think? Like, you knew this how he was moving. Like, this what
Yeah.
happens when you do that. It's like, so
Yeah.
why are you stressing yourself out over? Because that's what he got to learn on his own. And it's like, to have somebody like you who did 33 years, let me ask you this. Now, I know you said your family was solid. What about your friends? What about the girlfriend? Did you have any kids? Like what about them people? Were they solid?
No, unfortunately, no, I don't have any kids. But
Okay.
my the girl that I was with when I originally went to prison, she passed.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, she had passed. But during my course of being in there, I've been in relationships, in long lasting relationships. You know.
Oh, so you was meeting women while you was in jail.
Yeah, and I still knew. I mean, I still knew women before I went. You know, I was young,
Oh,
and
people from the street, they kept in tune with you.
some of them, a couple people, I kept in tune with people. You know, a few of them, but I met a lot of people also.
Okay, so
You
the
know,
Mackin was still in you then.
I ain't gonna say it was that.
Okay,
You know,
all right.
yeah,
I, I can see that. I can see that.
yeah. But
So
I'm even though I was
so
doing those things, I still needed that thing for me, man. I mean, I was doing what I was doing, but still,
so let me ask you this, man. As from a triple, quadruple original gentleman that did 33 years,
yeah.
what can you say to them young brothers that got them 30 poppers, got their mask, about to get in the car and go get down and handle that business? What would you say to them?
Well, it's no one thing I can say other than it's not worth it for what? To prove what to who? Because them same guys that you with and you getting down with, when you sitting up in that courtroom, you look around in that courtroom, the only one that's gonna be there is your mother, maybe your baby's mother gonna be there. Ain't none of them gonna be there, so you got something to prove to them, and it's not worth it, man. But there's no one thing I could say to them. It has
Yeah.
many things, and then there's some things. I don't care how many times you tell them. Some people just have to go through it and live through it because their mind is just blocked out. They don't want to hear it. They know. They know everything, just like us. We had all the answers. We've been there,
Right.
but we didn't know nothing. Because if we knew something, we
No,
wouldn't have been
nothing.
where we were. You know.
Okay, but before I let you get back to your chick, tell her, hold on, tell her you coming. I want to know this.
Yeah.
What is the worst thing about prison?
One of the worst things is, to me, when you never know when that moment come that you're put on the spot and somebody challenge you or try to do something to you and you have to do what you have to do.
Wow.
That is scary because I've been in situations I don't know how I got through sometimes because I've been in situations sometimes threatening different things, right?
Right.
And I like let it roll off. But sometimes my heart was pumping and you're thinking and nah, man, nah, just it's not worth it. For what? I don't really want, they got all this animosity stuff, but I don't really have that.
Right.
But those were frightening times right there when you didn't know how this person was going to come out when that door busts and you have to do what for the simplest things, just because they didn't like you, because you went to visit every week, because you got money orders, all that.
Wow.
For
No.
whatever reasons, the most pettiest things in there,
Man, I,
you know.
I actually, I when I was doing my six, that
Yeah,
hard six, I actually like kind of fell out with a guy because it's kind of like I got popular.
yeah,
And like he was the popular one, I guess, before
yeah, yeah,
I got there. And I'm like, you really, I don't even care what these dudes think,
yeah,
think or whatever. But it's like, man, he really had a problem with that. And I'm like, man,
yeah,
that means something to you, dog.
yeah.
And it's like, uh, uh so am I right? Like in prison, it's like something that's small out here mean a lot to somebody in there.
It means everything to them in there. Like I said, even if you're on the phone, you're able to get on the phone and make collect calls when they collect calls, and they can't. They don't have anybody to call.
Right.
They might envy you that for that, might shoot you a prison for that or whatever. It's
Right.
just like it's no one particular thing, and it's not just the prisoners; it's the officers that you got to watch out for too, because
Wow.
They initiate a lot of stuff and will stomp you out in a heartbeat, and they got backup.
Wow.
You know,
Wow. I didn't even think of that.
it's
So
deep, bro.
you know, before I let you go, I keep saying it, but man, you just keep on dropping these jewels. Uh I gotta ask you this, right? This is off the grid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna say their name. I just want to see what you think. So we had a rapper who's like one of the biggest gangster rappers out right now, right? He used to be a prison guard. So, like, is that a straight contradiction of a gangster being a prison guard?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna honestly say this. There was some real correction officers that we know right now that were really gangsters and were correction officers
Right.
here in Jersey. And still everybody respects them. They out on the street. They come, they attend events and things that we have because they respected us and treated us like human beings. And there also, there's a couple of them, quite a few of them.
And you know what? I'm glad you cleared that up for me because I had a brother that was a correctional officer,
Yeah,
and it was just a job to him. He said
that's
it.
all it is.
He be wondering like why some of them is taking it so serious and like
Yeah,
you're not a police officer.
yeah,
And I had some homies that was correctional officers.
yeah,
They got indicted because they was
yeah,
doing the gangster stuff. So I just wanted to clear that up with somebody who was official, tissue,
yeah.
and
But they gonna always say that, man. When somebody coming up and something, man, people will always talk, hating on the man or whatever. A lot of people just, all right, that was him. It was his job. That wasn't his career or anything. You see,
right.
whoever he had, this person had bigger aims and bigger goals, and.
I, man, you couldn't. Ain't nothing like the truth.
Yeah, what they
Um,
doing now, what they doing now is gangster. That's gangster when you building an empire.
when you right, that's gangster building the
Yeah,
empire,
yeah, yeah,
leaving some for that family.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that that's that's
Helping
gangster.
helping the community out and all that.
That's gangster. Helping
Yeah,
the
that's
community.
gangster. Yeah,
Now, well, my cousin Lisa said, "What got you through?" You kind of then told us, man. You just had to deal with it.
yeah.
So,
I had to face it. I didn't have no other choice.
no choice.
Like I said, I kept just looking at the front door.
Let me ask you this: did you see a lot of how many people did you see that couldn't face it, that couldn't take it?
I've seen a lot of people that couldn't face it, and a lot of people ended up. I've seen people that have actually hung themselves. I've seen people that on medications in a whole different state of mind to get through it and just went off and everything. A lot of people, everybody don't make it back out of there.
Right.
Everybody that go in there don't make it back out. You just don't hear about it, but we lose people in there, tons of them every day. And another thing I like to clarify, there are a lot of innocent people in there. When you hear people talking about they really innocent, a lot of them, there are innocent people in there.
Right.
There really are.
They really. I know that for a fact because when I was doing my six, I beat my case, but I was innocent, man,
I
and I
just,
beat the
yeah,
case.
I just
So,
had a nephew that was exonerated for 2 bodies, did 16 years, and now they just come and they found out it wasn't really him.
oh wow,
And and as a matter of fact, his
God bless
story.
him.
I'm gonna send it to you. His story's coming on one of these channels or something. His story. They did a documentary on him and some of the other people that were just exonerated, man.
What was that at?
In Jersey.
Jersey. Yeah,
Yeah, it was in Jersey.
I
Yeah,
definitely gotta get on that. So
yeah.
let me ask you this. Um, what do you got coming up? Like, what are you working on now?
Right now, I'm just working on a project with a couple. A few some of the guys at Lifers Group, and I'm working still with the Jim program, and we have a show coming up in New York on the 16th. We have a show in New York, and we have people coming, musicians and everybody coming from around the world.
Oh
You know,
wow,
Yeah, we're performing. I'm performing on that night as well.
I might
On the
have to get out
16th,
there.
they're going to be
Depending on the weather, I
yeah,
might
they're
have
going
to
to be
get it.
previewing a documentary and everything that night too as well. You know,
Oh man, I might have to slide with you. I definitely
yeah,
man, you just so motivational. I just hope somebody see this
yeah,
and it save a life, man. It's like,
yeah,
man, these young dudes just don't get it, man. That they close their sale on you, and it's and
yeah,
it's and it's done. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's done. So we gonna take it. Oh yeah, Kelly
You
Pitt
you
salute.
you was asking me a question earlier too, and you had forgot. I think it was
What
about somebody about a son,
about the son?
about a son, yeah, and their father from
About the
Atlanta,
son?
from Atlanta,
You say from Atlanta?
yeah,
When we was talking earlier.
yeah. You asked me about it. How did I feel about Ti and his son?
Oh yeah, yeah. What am I thinking? I'm so you got me so excited that I
Yeah,
I forgot about them that
yeah,
fool.
yeah.
So what do you think about someone being born with a silver spoon, so to say, that still wants to? Do they still get the credit of a hood dude because they grandmama lived in the hood, they hung out over there, and they got hood friends? Does that make them hood?
Now that don't really make them. That don't make them hood. And because you grew up with a silver spoon or whatever, that doesn't really mean nothing. It depends on. I just think the kid's out of control right now, and
Right.
I don't think the kid's to blame himself. And when people are doing things and we're doing things out in the street at an earlier time in our lives and stuff, and the kids growing up and the kids are seeing this, the kids want to be like our fathers sometimes. A lot of these things rub off on our kids. Yes, we're providing, giving them food and shelter and everything, and showing them that we care. But what do we? What type of example are we being to them as well? You know what I'm saying? And
What
so the kids get caught up and they have no respect. They get on drugs or whatever. They have no respect. A lot of them for their parents and nobody. And it's not because that's who they are. It's because of them drugs. Like they smoked out and different stuff. And but I think
Yeah.
the parents have to take some responsibility for that as well. You know?
Mm-hmm. I,
Yeah,
I, I, hold on. I gotta give you the praise. My homie Diva, she said, praise him. She sent you big praise. My guy Callie Pitts with the Good Conversation podcast said, can someone who was born with a silver spoon on life experience make him gangster? You just answered that one.
yeah,
Yeah, they had no go. But let me ask you this.
yeah,
Then I promise I'm gonna let you go. I've been holding you hostage. I promise I'm gonna let you go. Am I wrong? Because I go do stuff in the community and
yeah,
help the neighborhood that I was born and raised. Some of them just in Chicago, period.
yeah,
We give out toys on Christmas, different stuff. But my kids ain't from the hood,
yeah,
and I don't bring them around for that. And I don't even
yeah.
want them going around to help with that.
Good.
Now, am I wrong for feeling that way?
No, you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong, but no matter sometimes how good the parenting is and how you are, kids are going to be kids, and kids are going to find a way. If something's really in their mind, they're going to get out there and do it. But I don't think that's a bad thing that you're doing. But you do want to show them your behavior as far as you're giving and giving back to the community, and for these things to rub off on them so that they can do these same things.
Well,
You do want to,
they live in a all right community where the issues ain't even the same.
right.
But I just feel like it ain't they fight, it ain't they struggle. They ain't
Yeah,
sell no dope around here. They didn't.
yeah,
I just feel like that's how I'm like. because it still goes down.
Yeah.
It then been, I done been at stuff we giving out book bags to somebody come through shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just feel
Yeah.
like, is this even they struggle? Is this even they fight? You know?
Well, if I was you, I would continue to do what I'm doing as far as not bringing them around it or whatever. You know, they know what you're doing out there, right?
Right, right, right.
So I would continue. If I was you, I would just continue what I'm doing. You know, for those very reasons. And when we're
Right.
talking about Chicago. You know, and
Well,
I was just looking at a video I did for the Attorney General of Chicago
what
back in '92.
92? What? That's when
I'll
it was
send it.
real
I'll
too.
send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you.
That's when it was real. When y'all dropped y'all thing,
Yeah.
the streets was on fire. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not taking away from this generation, but it was on
So I was
fire.
publicizing. Yeah.
So yeah, y'all couldn't have did it at a better time. You know,
Yeah.
it was on fire. So yeah, if anybody want to get in touch with you, book you for their podcast or
They can
interviews
just
or speaking, how can they find you?
they can go on Instagrams, Melvins 782 on Instagram, or they can go on Facebook, Max Melvins on Facebook, Melvins with an S. You know, or they can go on Twitter, Maxwell Melvins.
There we go. All you radio people, podcasters, please hit it. Especially you, Kelly Pitts. I see you getting going, bro. But we finna get out. Y'all gotta get him on. Him and DJ gotta be on that together. Um, man, I just want everybody. Please share this. Please hit the like. Please, y'all. This is important. Like this guy got life saving skills, and he's a superhero. He don't even know it. Like I told you, you literally helped guide me in a different direction. You scared me straight. So everybody hit the like. Everybody hit the share. Everybody comment. You know, y'all gonna see it later too. But the way I end every single show, man, we just say, what's your hood? And you say your hood, and we out. So, what's the hood?
New Jersey. Camden, New Jersey.